gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our
Color
nation.
guard, attention. Forward, arms. Carry, colors. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Left turn, march. Color guard, halt. Present, colors.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, colors. Right turn, march. Forward, march.
Thank you, ladies and
Color
gentlemen. You
guard,
may be seated.
halt. Color guard dismissed.
It's a great day to be a cat. Even I listen to Doug Hughes when he talks. Looking for a little free lunch? It's a great day to be a cat. Just kudos to your food service staff. That was y'all think Doug Hughes is this quiet, mild-mannered, behind-the-scenes guy. I don't know. We came from out of town. I think he's a show-off. That's what I think. He's the only guy I've ever seen that has the parking lot sealed and striped because he's got out-of-town guests. Well, good afternoon. In addition to being a smart aleck, my name's Kirk Hamilton. I'm the executive director of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators, and let me tell you what a privilege and honor it is for us to be here in the Newark City schools today. To install Doug Hughes as our 49th BASA president and to install our newly elected executive committee members. This is a long-standing tradition in our organization to do our president installation in the home district of our president. And it is, without a doubt, one of my favorite experiences of each year. Because we get to go to places. I've been to Newark many times. My kids went to Grove City, and we came and played football in your stadium. And I believe we won a few more than we lost there. But I've been here and had my head handed to me as I watched my kids get beat up by your kids on the basketball floor. What a privilege it is to be here today in a beautiful building with such a great representation of your school district, community, and Doug's colleagues from around the region. So you know, we have folks here from all corners of the state of Ohio. We have folks on our executive committee who have come from Northeast Ohio, Northwest Ohio, Southwest, Central, Southeast, and what a great opportunity it is for us to experience Newark, to feel the spirit and the culture here, and to see what a sense of community and pride you're taking in your school district. As we begin today, let me also thank Gloria Wilson, Doug's administrative assistant, for working with our staff at BASA to put this program together. Great job, much appreciated. And you know what, Gloria, it's clear to see now why the district operates as well as it does. It's just kind of how it works most places. Also, in addition to Gloria and the food service staff, the staff here at Newark, it seems like I know about half of them from attending VASA meetings or teaching graduate classes that they've taken. It's just a pleasure, and it's quality. It's always quality. whenever these people go out, wherever they go within the state, they represent your school district and your community with such pride and such dignity that it really does make you want to be a captain. It truly does. Let me also thank your school district and Board of Education for sharing your leader with us for this 3-year commitment. It's not just 1 year as the president, it's a year of the president-elect, it's the year you serve as president, the year as past president. And we're grateful for the leader you have and your willingness to share him with us and allow his influence to be experienced across the state of Ohio. It's just, you can tell it's a great place and that you take great pride in the district and in your community. I'd like to introduce the board members that are here today. Board President, Reverend Tim Carr. Want to stand and wave? Or you can sit and wave. That's a special talent. Special talent. Okay. Vice President Warren Weber. Board Member Mike Bowers. And board members that couldn't be with us today, Tom Wine and Beverly Nichols. Thank you. Thank you in particular, for having the vision to allow Doug to serve. And I can just tell you from past experience, I'm a former BASA president, and we will aim for him to have the same experience that I had, where he will bring more to the district than as a result of his service than you can imagine. So I'll guarantee you a return on your investment, and if not, we'll reimburse you for what it costs you to send it to us. It's fair, isn't it? Yeah, it's fair. Well, for those of you that may not be familiar, let me tell you a little bit about our association. We are a member service association. We're a not-for-profit that was created to serve the needs of superintendents across our state. We rely heavily on our members from governance to carrying out the work that we do. Our members are active participants in our organization as well and support the many things that we do. In large measure, we offer advocacy through representation with the Ohio General Assembly, various state government cabinet agencies, the Ohio Department of Education. That means we lobby for things that are good for boys and girls across the state of Ohio, things that are good for your school district. We often offer the opinions that without our voice, there isn't a voice. And we're successful to a great degree. We offer professional development to our members and school district staff to help folks stay aware and current with policy and current best practice in educational leadership. And I talk about educational leadership because we're not a curriculum organization. We're a leadership and governance-driven organization. We want to help people be the very best leaders they can be and the most effective leaders they can be. There's plenty of curricular expertise in your buildings and classrooms, but someone has to lead that charge and set the vision and work with the board and the community in that process. And that's our view of the superintendent's responsibility. So we're a great provider of professional development, and we're there on the other end of the line. We have a large staff. We have 4 professional staff, all recovering superintendents. And we were all addicts for a long time. So when superintendents run into something they haven't seen before, they have a question, they need a listening ear, we serve our members in that way as well, as we're able to be at the other end of the phone and sometimes talk folks off the ledge or walk them through an experience they may not have had previously. I'd like to introduce our staff that's here. Our Deputy Executive Director, Dr. Dave Axner. He's worthy of the clap. our Director of Government Relations, and Tom Ash. Director of Labor Development, Cynthia Walker. And the President and CEO of our Ohio School Leadership Foundation, Kevin McVeigh. I don't want you to get too excited about that last, that last title. President and CEO. President and CEO, and he is also a staff of one. I just have to throw that out. For those that know Dale, they'll get a kick out of it. Correct, Jim? That's right. We, additionally, as we think about what Doug's role is, what the role of these leaders are, they're the voice of the superintendent profession across our state. About 97% of the superintendents in the state of Ohio are BASA members. We have a good number of members from higher education and central office administrators as well. But we are divided into 10 regions, and we have regional directors. In each of those 10 regions, we have 4 new regional directors who will be installed today. In addition to our president, past president, and president-elect. And they truly are the voice in our state as we look for leadership. For example, on Monday of next week, we'll have the opportunity to meet with the lieutenant governor gubernatorial candidate, and Betty Sutton. And our executive committee will be part of a small group that gets to meet with her and talk about educational issues. We'll do the same thing with John Houston next Friday. So these are important positions. They're important in the governance of our organization, but they're also influential voices in our profession across the state. So we're grateful for the service that's provided and grateful for their willingness to serve. At this time, I would like our immediate past president, David James, to come forward, and I would ask that Bob Lesko, the superintendent, Corey Rawson, Mike Mail from Brunswick City Schools, and Kyle Ramey of the Oakwood City Schools come forward to be installed as our newly elected regional directors. David?
Kirk. Gentlemen, you can come a little bit closer. All right, do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will support the Constitution of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as regional directors of the association to the best of your ability and in accordance with the bylaws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and is qualified to serve in said office? If so, please answer, I will. All right, congratulations.
So, before we install our president-elect, I would like for the staff, if you're a staff member in the Newark City Schools, would you please stand? If you are here because you got free lunch, No, thank you. I think this says a lot about the culture in the Newark City Schools. You don't get a crowd of people to come out when the superintendent's being recognized, and unless there's a real healthy team culture. You just don't get that. Now, if you're a colleague of Doug's, that you work with him, you're an educator, you're a professional friend of Doug's, regardless of where you came from, would you please stand? folks without an employment obligation. We laugh about that, and I apologize if I seem a little casual. I just know Doug well, and I'm pretty comfortable here. I'm very comfortable with y'all. But these are folks that think enough of your superintendent to stop their day at the beginning of the school year and come to support him in this installation today. That's significant. Equally significant, all the staff that stood up is a friend and professional colleague of Doug when we asked for the Newark City school staff to stand. You know, I said, regardless of where you came from, none of you stood up again. So do we need to talk about that? Was it really the free lunch? Maybe so, maybe so. Additionally, I think we've got a few of these in the room today. If you're a past president of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators, would you please stand? So there are a couple of you. They come back. They come back. Thanks, Jim. It's always good to see you. And Tom, much appreciated. Our president-elect this year comes from the Tri-Village Local Schools, Mr. Martin Neal, and I'd ask our past president, David James, to complete the installation of Marcus and President Letter.
All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as president-elect of the association to the best of your ability and in accordance with the bylaws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified to serve in said office? If so, please answer, I will. All right.
Now we get to have a little more fun. Because now's the part when we're going to install our new president. And I asked Doug if he would come forward at this point. Now, the one really great thing about this is I get to make him uncomfortable. Here's the guy that's always comfortable in front of the room, right? But to the best of my ability, we're going to talk nice about him now. Okay, I want you to think about this. It's one of the things that I get to do that I just kind of cherish. Get to talk about 18 years as superintendent. He's completed 9 years here in the Newark City Schools. He's made a difference. You know, we've had some outstanding superintendents here through the years. You have a wonderful community, you have great facilities and caring staff. But I don't know that you've ever had anyone quite like Doug Buick. And I'm not sure you've ever had anyone that, had the expectations for adults that Doug Buick that has the expectations for kids, that is an advocate for all kids, regardless of where they come from. Their race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, that really has a vision for what your school district can be and what kids should experience when they're here. He loves the Newark City Schools. He loves the Newark City Schools. He's not just an advocate for all kids. He's an advocate for doing what's right. He's an advocate for doing what's right without much political regard. If it's not politically correct, but it's good for kids, he's going to do what's good for kids. If it's not popular, he's going to do what's good for kids. And it takes a special person to do that and to be able to have those expectations and be straightforward and confident in what he expects and still have the relationship he has with the Board of Education, obviously with the staff of the school district and with the greater community. That's special. That's special. He's focused. He's a leader amongst leaders. And I say that because I have some familiarity with your leadership team, a number of them. And he lets them lead. But he has high expectations and he holds them accountable, but provides them opportunities to grow. He's not threatened. He's not threatened by developing other folks. So he's a leader among leaders. He's thoughtful. He's service-oriented. He's service-oriented. We all know leaders who walk in the door, expect things to be ready, and walk out when they've done their thing. That's not him. Watch him. If you don't watch him and learn. Doug Ute's a doer. He's not talking about it. I mean, he's kind of a think, do, plan kind of guy. He's got an idea, thinks it's good for kids, we're going to do it. And we'll figure out the rest of it along the way. That's a special talent, but that's a talent that makes a difference. That's part of why it's a great day to be a captain. He's committed to serving others. He's a willing helper, and he's an effective and successful school district leader. At this time, I'd ask David James to install W as the 49th BASA president.
Doug, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as president of the association to the best of your ability, and in accordance with the bylaws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and is qualified to serve in said office? If so, please answer, I will.
So this really is a celebration of a great person, a great leader, a celebration of a great district and an exceptional community. It is a really proud day for us, you know, to have a leader of this status lead our organization this next year. Doug has asked your board president, Reverend Tim Carr, if he'd share some comments with our audience today. Reverend Carr?
Not as tall as that fellow there. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of stuff written down, and then I looked on the back of this, nice picture, and everything on there is like already what I was saying, and then you said everything else that I was supposed to say. So 2009, New York City Schools was looking for a superintendent. We had just cut a fabulous $1.4 million from the budget. And we had just passed in May an emergency levy, and we began to look at superintendents, and there was this young guy from Elgin. And I say young because we're the same age, so we're still young. And he rose to the top of a pretty decent list of folks, and some with more experience, and some with more experience in larger districts, and some who that through it all, he just continued to impress the folks on the board. And two of those folks are still serving on the board. So we like him a little bit. And it's an honor for us to have him serve, because it just lends credence to what we think of him, that you all think of him as highly as well. Despite all that, when he came, things were not horrible. Things were just in a little bit of a challenging spot. And he came in, created vision. He created some energy and some momentum. He got out into the community and made a tremendous impact on community leaders. Added curriculum. We now do robotics. We have classes in the middle of high school for that. We have 15 AP classes. I just jotted down a few things. He increased the focus on STEM. This year, was it not almost 500 people with STEM this year? It was crazy, and so we had Todd, you know, because you tried to feed him, right? And but it was incredible, you know, and that's, I mean, really, that's about a 12th of our district showing up to work on science, technology, engineering, and math. What an incredible thing that was for us, and all these things, they came about through Doug's heartbeat, but the people that he hired, and the people that he's brought on his team. And they have helped him to create something that's incredible here. And I'm glad you guys recognize that. It's something we already knew. And so when we found out this was going to be an honor for him to take place, we said, well, what is that going to take from you? Because, you know, we have things for him to do. And he said, really, I don't do anything, but I get a cool gavel. I think that was it. And that's not true. But we did talk about such things that it would cost. But he brought back some high school busing that we had cut as part of the cuts. Different satellite locations, kids can get bus, high schoolers can get bused to school. Waived pay to play, waived fees for travel, and our esteemed athletic director reminds people, which I wish he wouldn't do, but he reminds people in front of the room that that the board cut all transportation fees and all pay to play. And then he says, and there's one of the board members over there, so harass him about it. And but it's an awesome thing to be in a district where that kind of leadership and that kind of motivation is present. He joined with some civic leaders to make some phenomenal improvements on our football field. We now have a turf field. We have some newly renovated aspects of the stadium. Completed new construction and the renovation of 11 buildings, and then we're able to save, if you get a chance to see the ASC, if you've been there, where Doug's office is. 1927, they built the Roosevelt Building as a school building here. It was scheduled to not be here, and because we had saved some money during the building project, which everybody does, right? And it saved a decent amount of money. We were able to transform that building into office space for our local computer organization, for our ESC, and also for our offices. And those are the kind of things that Doug brings to the table. He is an idea person. He is a phenomenal leader, and he continues to bring people together. For the last 2 years, he's brought together what he calls our SEES team, social emotional, and he's connected the counselors in our schools and the resource people in our schools with the resource people of the city and the community. So they can all know where their help is coming from. And you know why? Because he loves kids. Because he loves students. You know, and I said I wasn't going to share this, but I might share it. In a different way. I go to a lot of basketball games, go to football games, go to a lot of activities that go on here. I go to middle school track meets on purpose, okay? And my daughter's on there. I told her that I go for 3.5 hours and she runs for like 10 minutes. One of the most painful things in the history of man, middle school track meet. But if I see Doug there, he'll associate with some of the teachers and the leaders and stuff. But then I see him engaging students. He enjoys talking to the young people. And he is an advocate for them, and that's a great word. He is a fan of the students of New York City schools. And will do whatever it takes to make it better for them. And I'm honored to be able to call him our superintendent. Just between you and me, I'm more honored to be able to call him my friend. And I think very highly of him. I'm trying to think if I've got anything left. And his mom offered me money to roast him, and I'm not going to do it. When Doug first called me and said, Tim, I want you to talk, I'm like, is this a roast or is this like a, because I was looking forward to that. And so, but that's not what it's going to be. Thank you for giving me, I had 3 to 5. How did I do? 3 to 5? Thank you very much for letting me.
a school bus driver. I think we can get along. I think we can get along. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And an idea just struck me. Is there a pond on the property? Is there any body of water that's runs by? I just thought maybe we could come watch it walk on water. Maybe when this ends. Oh, that's what I said. Wow. Wow. But all true. But all true. At this time, it's my pleasure to ask David James to return to officially pass the gavel to Doug as our 49th PASA president, and then ask Doug if he would like to make some remarks.
Doug, it is absolutely my distinct honor to pass the magic gavel of the Buckeye Association of School Administrators to you for your term as association president. Congratulations.
Kurt talked about maybe moving this meeting to different times, since so many schools are starting earlier. It's usually the second Tuesday. I got an idea. The next time I negotiate, how about moving the meeting to Newark? That might have helped me before negotiating my contract. I do appreciate it. So I don't get nervous in front of people. I don't really write things down. So I do have just a little of this today because my good buddy Jim Mahoney back there kept telling me, hey, this is a big deal. Jim, you got me nervous. One of the best speakers that I know. So I would think, as Kurt mentioned, I'm starting my 19th year as a school superintendent. And I've been fortunate to spend that in 2 schools. There's one, Marion Elgin, which has some folks here from there that I'll talk about here in a minute. Really started my career as an administrator, and then starting my 10th year here in Newark. And to be very honest with you, I can't see a light at the end of the tunnel from that standpoint. I'm still passionate about this place, and Kurt talked about expectations. All I said to him, it's an expectation that you're at this meeting. So all of these folks here, and we get free lunch. And so nothing harsh. I didn't tell them they had to. So, I was thinking the other day about BASA and what it's meant to me as a school superintendent in the past 19 years. And so I was one of those superintendents, and I'm looking over this way because we have a row of folks here that are going to be wonderful superintendents, some in the very near future, and some not too far behind that. And I will tell you the mistake I made 19 years ago, Marion Elgin was saying, I don't have time to leave my district. I've got to be here every day. And I'm taking care of everybody's professional development, but nobody took care of W's professional development. And as time went on, I started to become active a little bit in attending some of the professional development meetings at BASA. And it just seems like each year that just kind of blossomed out there as I got around, this particularly OSLI. That is Mr. Clinky contacted me and said, hey, I think this would be something you would enjoy. How about this? And I did that, and it really lit a fire in me to say, wow, even today in our executive board meeting, every time I'm around folks like sitting up here in this front row and the folks at BASA, there's no question that I grow from that experience, and I do appreciate that. About 5 years ago, Kurt called me and said, hey, Dave Aston, Superintendent Dublin, is retiring, and would you be interested in filling his seat on the executive committee? And I thought, well, what do you got to do, Kurt? Those type of things. Kurt talked to me a little bit, and I came on board with that and started sitting in those meetings and been around people like David and Cynthia sitting back there, and Cynthia was a board member at the time, and getting to know those folks and really felt, hey, this is really good for me. In my growth, that means it's good for our school district. Kirk, I can't thank you enough for that call because it has really expanded my professional development opportunity from that standpoint. Kirk talked about what BASA stands for and those those type of things and taking care of its membership. And I'll share with you, I'm really proud that we have a group of folks here that, Cynthia's group, that Women in Leadership, come back every time I think we sent 7. We sent 7 last year. Ladies to that, and always come back, just thrilled to death. Tim talked a lot about our district, so I won't spend a lot of time on that, other than to tell you that I appreciate the people in this room because relationships and leadership matter. Those 2 big things are huge for me. And I invited a few of our community members here. Our relationship with these folks, we have a fantastic school district, but we have a fantastic community. And it's because of folks like, Dan, would you please stand up for a second? Dan DeLauder. For those of you that do not know Dan, Dan is the chairman of Park National Bank here in town. And I appreciate he's a very busy man. You know, 11 banks or 12 now? You know, yeah, it's a big company. But Dan taught me a lesson very early on here about community and community responsibility. I've never been in a community like Newark that has community members step up to support not only the schools, but other things in the community here. Dan spearheads that. And Dan just said, it's the right thing to do, those type of things. And it is, but we appreciate that. Dan was standing in line. I thanked him for coming. He said it's a free meal, and I told him, you didn't know, but we're asking Park National Bank to pay for it. So Julio said, what? Yeah, that's what folks say, okay. But Dan, I really appreciate your leadership and your support of the school district here. Besides his lovely wife Diane, who runs our Calder College program. If you haven't had a chance to experience our Calder College program, I would invite any of these folks from other districts to get Diane before she leaves and talk to her a little bit about that. It's a program. I came here, Diane and Sarah Wallace took me to dinner, to lunch one day, and said, Calder College, said, oh, we have one of those programs in Elgin. We redo as much as this. That's not the Calder College program that we have. We do those things, but we give kids opportunities to go to school. And so, Diane, would you please stand up and be recognized? Appreciate Diane. On this side is our wonderful Mayor, Mayor Hall. Would you please stand up? This young man reads the classrooms, the schools, and anything that we need from a school district, Mayor Hall sees that we're taking care of. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the BASA staff. We get Kurt rides them a little bit, I think, and has fun with them and all fun. But these guys that are in BASA, we sent, raise your hand over here if you've been through one of Kurt or Dave or Jerry class. Some of you have been. Margaret, I think you have. You've been through their class. We've got some folks here who've been through their class, and they come back all the time. Just amazed that they just really enjoy what you're offering those folks as they become licensed to be a superintendent. But truly, you're talking about Dave, Cynthia, and Kirk, and that staff there, the successful Dale out, Tom Ash, all have been really successful superintendents. So spending time with these folks is nothing but positive, so appreciate that. I have a couple guests here from the past. Our first administrative team I ever was a part of. Man, did I get lucky. Just one day I got a call from a gentleman named Ted Hamilton, who was the superintendent of the Elgin schools. And he said, hey, I got a high school principal, and I got your name from somewhere in Marion. I didn't even apply for that position. And so, would you come talk to us? And I did, and I left that interview thinking, man, this guy is there's something special about Mr. Hamilton. I'd really like to have an opportunity to be around him. And so, as it worked out, I had to wait a week because he offered a job to somebody else who took a week off. And I mentioned this at Calder College a few years ago when I was talking about opportunities. That gentleman took that week to decide he didn't want that position. And so Tim offered me the position. I got a chance to be around there. So 4 years later, when Tim left, I reversed it. It's kind of like wrestling. I reversed it. He was runner-up in the superintendent position to me. So I appreciate that opportunity. But Tim, I'd like for you just to stand up for a second. I know you're going to hate this. So my past. Anytime I get a chance, when I got the position here in Newark, when I got the position at Marion Elgin, particularly here in Newark, I called my wife and said, hey, I'm in a position, now it's time to really think of it. I hung that phone up and I called Tim Hamilton. And I thanked him for that opportunity he gave me. And he actually told two ladies at OSBA who were running the search, Cheryl Ryan and Kathy Lasota, who were running the search here, told them, call Doug Hughes of Marion Elgin because I think it's a good fit for him. And I think it's about time he's ready to go. So but beyond that, just spending 4 years with Tim and watch Tim operate, giving me the freedom to grow as a leader. In our evaluations, he kept telling me, get your superintendent license. If I want to be a superintendent, get your superintendent license. And one night I walked in my house, he was sitting in the living room with his wife Cheryl, and that was not uncommon because Tim lived in the same town, walked around town quite a bit. And we talked for 45 minutes, and he hit me on the leg and said, oh, by the way, I'm going to Hilliard. Thanks, Dale. So Dale's responsible for my first superintendent job. He took Tim down to Hilliard. But Tim, I want to look at you and tell you how much I appreciate you, the opportunity that you gave me, the opportunity to grow. And I know I can call Tim Hamilton at any time, years later. And that lesson I learned, I hope I'm doing for our folks here in our district. Give them a position, let them lead, be there for support, but it's an ongoing. Tim involved the city's family, so we're friends with Tim's family, and that's, so would you please give Tim a hand? So on that team are some folks here. Now you got to understand, school's starting here very soon, and we've got Bob Britton, please stand up, Brian Napper, please stand up. So, yeah, these guys were on that first administrative team. When I became superintendent, Bobby became high school principal, Bob's superintendent, Mary Ridgedale. Brian completed what year, 46, and been administrator since 88. Retired from Belgium when we were at Ridgedale. But I know how busy you guys are, so come down here, and it's an ongoing friendship. So thank you very much for coming. And then I'm just going backwards here. I've got Kevin Kimmel. Kevin, stand up to Superintendent Cyrus. Kevin's been, this is your 8th year, Kevin? Superintendent Cyrus. So his nickname's the Big Bear, okay? And the Big Bear came to me when I was a high school basketball coach at Buckeye Central and athletic director. And he was an offensive lineman at Findlay University. And his brother was in our basketball program and said, I want to coach for you this summer, coach. First time I met Kevin. Led into a relationship where I hired Kevin at Buckeye Central to teach English, and it was the unofficial, non-paid, I might put, assistant athletic director. Many nights we spent, back in the days when you pushed the wooden bleachers in, after everybody left, the head basketball coach and the assistant basketball coach would sweep the floor and put everything away. That was Kevin, and I know Kevin and I have a long relationship. Cut our keys, so to speak, together back there. So, Kevin, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Then in Licking County, we've got a lot of fantastic superintendents down here that are very close. And I know he's on the executive board, so he had to be here. But Jeff Brown, where are you? Did Jeff leave already? Oh, stand up. I knew Jeff when he was at Olentangy, and I was thrilled when he came to Granville. And he's a tremendous leader of the Granville schools. And Jeff and I have a lot of similar beliefs, but in two different neck of the woods in terms of economic status. But Jeff, you're doing a great job there. I appreciate you being here, buddy. Getting close to being done. You're looking at the clock. I know you are. There are a few other folks here. Jim Mahoney that's sitting back here. Jim, stand up. You're a heck of a guy, buddy. I know you don't want to do that. And I would tell anybody in this room, you want to have 500 people stand up after 45 minutes, invite Jim to your auditorium with your teachers. We've had him down here in standing ovation. Some of those, Jim saying, I love that turtle on top of the fence post, saying that Jim likes to do. And Jim, he was in Morgan County this morning and ran back here, and that means a lot that you come back, Jim, so thank you very much. And then, personally for me, I have a few folks in the room. Let me introduce my daughter, who, go ahead and stand up there, if you would. This is my oldest daughter. If you see her walking around, it'll be September, I always say 4th, I think it's the 6th, that we will have our 7th grandchild. But not only that, but Taryn was a fantastic second grade teacher of Jonathan Alder. She's been the head volleyball coach at Ohio Wesleyan. She was recently the head volleyball coach of Jonathan Alder. Her and Corey, my wife, they ran 27-0 in the state finals 2 years ago now. And Taryn, it's been 3 already. 3. Had her first child and decided she was done coaching. And since then, she was assistant principal at Delaware. Gary Chapman brought her back to Jonathan Alder. And so she was assistant principal at the elementary school there, in a PhD program, and pregnant. And down here today, so appreciate you, love you, for coming down. Then we have 2 other ladies, 2 very important ladies in my life. Corey, would you please stand up? My wife, Corey. And I know that, we started this stuff 33 years ago, and through that time, I remember, and Kevin will remember this, and Bob, because Bob used to beat us in basketball over Colonel Crawford every now and then, most of the time. Corey, we have 4 children. And I still remember her coming in. I'd sit there at a JV game, and she'd come in and had one in a car seat, one hanging on her leg, and those type of things. But just always been there to support me, and I'm not telling you guys anything different. Families go through a lot in our positions that way, and we're not home for supper at 5 o'clock most nights, those type of things. But so in our busy life with all our grandkids, we had our 6th this summer, 7th in September. Corey's a health consultant at Marion Elgin, still involved in that. And Bob Britton talked her back into coaching volleyball this year, so we didn't have enough. She's a head volleyball coach for Bobby now at Ridgedale, so our lives get crazier. But she's always by my side and supportive. The last person that I want to recognize, we don't get a chance to do this very often because my mother here. Mom, would you stand up? You got to stand up. Just keep standing there for a minute so I can make it a little uncomfortable here. So, my mother is in her 47th. Will you begin your 48th year? She's beginning her 48th year as a school bus driver. She retired after 34 and subs every day because she only wants to work when she can, but she works 96% of the days. So yeah, that's what I chuckle at. She's been in the same school district, Lexington. So her boss once was Jerry Klinke years ago. Were you the union rep when Jerry was? Yeah. Oh, were you? Oh, I didn't know that. Good. Yeah. So, you learn a lot, and I think my mom instilled a lot of things into me. And Tim, I appreciate those comments of Kirk too, because I am very student-centered or kid-centered. And my mom raised 5 children, and so on a school bus driver salary, and waitressing whenever she could pick up a shift at Dr. D's restaurant. Dave, you'll see that good. 71 and 13. I think they tore it down now. But I remember my mom counting her change on the floor, putting it in little money wrappers to pay her an electric bill with 5 kids. And I tell people all the time, we didn't have anything when I was growing up. We had everything. And that's one of the things that stuck with me. And what I appreciate about my mother is I challenge you, go to Lexington or Mansfield with my mom, chances are some 50 or 60-year-old person will run up and yell, "Phyllis," and give her a hug, and she'll say, "I love you, my sweetness." Children love her, and I told her a few years ago, "What are you doing? Why are you still?" And she said to me, "I love the kids, and that bus garage is my second thing." And I said, you keep driving the school bus. So, but never heard my mother complain one time, unless I didn't do the dishes when I was supposed to, maybe. But never heard her complain about her life or anything that life dealt her from that standpoint. And she gets up out of bed every morning and goes to work, and doesn't talk about people, and is very positive and those things. So, Mom, I love you, and I appreciate you putting that inside of us. So thank you very much. You don't get a call. And then lastly here, then I'm done. David, I appreciate your leadership in there, gotten to know you. We sit beside each other in meetings, and for 2 hours between us, maybe 2 words get said or something that way. Dave's a pretty quiet guy from that standpoint, but you've led this organization from the presidency with a very smart man, very dedicated to the students of your district. And anybody that's got LeBron James' phone number on their cell phone is a friend of mine. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Doug. I just have to go back to Doug's family. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you sacrifice to support him and the work that's being done. And Mom, they just don't fall far from the tree. You know, so you should take a lot of credit for the man and the leader he is today, because they don't teach that in graduate school. At least I don't teach it in graduate school. You know, so thank you, Corey, and would like to also thank our executive committee members who are here today. Again, thank the Newark Board of Education for your support of Doug. And just remind folks as you leave, the work of a school leader is really, really important work. And if I were going to leave you with a challenge today, it's going to be twofold. One, be an advocate for this year. Be an advocate for a student who, without you, won't have an advocate. Just pick one. If everyone would just pick one, that will change lives, and the research will bear that out. The second thing, if you're a school leader, if you're a school administrator, okay, I want to say something that won't sit right with you, but think about it. Think less about the kids and more about the adults. Because the things that get in the way of student achievement and student success, it's never the kids. It's always the adults. And our role as school leaders is not to work magic with kids. That's what teachers do. Our role as a school leader is to do magic with adults. Because as we successfully impact better behaviors and better performance out of adults, kids will grow. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here today. Doug, congratulations, and congratulations to the Newark community. Thank you.